Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a video and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Today, I am privileged and honored to have one of India's legendary educators, Arun Kapoor, with me. Arun, welcome to the show.
I don't know about legendary, but your show seems to be legendary.
No. This is great. Arun is the founding headmaster of Vasant Valley School, New Delhi, a school where both my sons went. He is the director of the Royal Academy of Bhutan, and he's currently sitting in Bhutan, enjoying himself in a very different environment. He's the chairman of Ritinjali India, chairman of Center for Escalation of Peace, a director of Pallavan Learning Systems. He has been awarded the Druk Thukse Award from His Majesty the King of Bhutan for his contribution to education in Bhutan. And of course, as an educator so well known, he's been recognized and awarded globally. So Arun, tell me, what would you say are three key milestones in your life or your career?
Key milestones. Well, I have to say, one was they might seem milestones in hindsight, right? And that's what happens quite often. These are not things that I had kind of planned to happen. One was my becoming a school teacher in the first place. It was purely accidental, and I was requested to come and help out at the Doon School for a while, for a couple of months. Just fell in love with that and stayed for 12, 13 years. So that definitely, crossing over the barrier into school teaching was an amazing an accident. So, but now I look back, it is a milestone. I mean, it was not something that I had planned for. And the second one, I would say, in many ways, is again not something planned for. Is my involvement with the setting up of the Vasant Valley School, where I spent about 30 years. And in that, so there was Vasant Valley School as the focus, but a lot of things that I did, learned, and was able to do was in those 30 years at Vasant Valley School. So that's definitely a milestone.
Sure.
And the other again, talking to you, I realized that all three were accidental in some ways.
Right.
And the third one was my meeting with His Majesty. He wasn't the king at that time when I met him, and changed my life in so many ways. He's just such an amazing man. So then started moving across, planning, doing things, and here I am in. So these are like, in terms of career-wise, yes, I would say that the Doon School, the Vasant Valley School, and the meeting with His Majesty and coming up here makes a lot of difference. But also, if I might add one more, this my involvement with Ritinjali and the setting up of the work I do with Ritinjali, and I worked in Tihar jail for many years, working with the kids there and running night schools and doing a second chance school. So it's somehow all connected with the young people, but all of them. So in the formal space, and this Royal Academy is a combination of what I learned at the Doon School, Vasant Valley School, and Ritinjali, and I'm able to put that out.
Amazing.
Your questions kind of said was milestones, but in my personal life, my two daughters, fantastic. I've learned so much from them.
Right.
So I don't know whether you can call your family your milestone or not, but they definitely
absolutely
a lot of difference in who I am
true
today. So if kind of that answers what you're
fantastic. These are some great thoughts. So let's talk a little bit about an area where you spent 30-40 years, which is education. But as you were setting up, which you said your second milestone, Vasant Valley, tell me some of your challenges. I do know for a fact that every time admission used to start, you used to disappear. So I'm not going to talk about that as a challenge.
No. That was, admission, of course, getting admitted after a while was almost from the beginning. Well, it's strange, but the living up to the expectations of the Puris was a challenge. I think that was a really beautiful challenge. It was a positive challenge. I had such amazing people to work for. So it was not a challenge in the negative side, but it was a challenge in such, because their expectations were so high. And my own expectations were of how to meet those expectations were very, very high. So that was something that, kept me going in those terms. Dealing with the government and that side of it was at point of times challenging, if you know what I mean.
Correct.
There were just so many, but also at the same time, once you got through to what we have to understand, that the relationship with the government is not one kind of vague figure. They were the individuals. So individuals would change. And then you would come across an individual who was, progressive, looking forward. And suddenly the same relationship with the government was a pleasant thing. It was great, wonderful. And then the individual would change and somebody else would come along. And so when you say your relationships with the government, you have to understand that the government is not one kind of blank situation. They were so there were times when I would meet somebody who was completely opposite to the person who was sitting in the same chair. And that was really frustrating.
I can imagine.
Sometimes on the frustrating side, and sometimes you'd say, oh my God, the government can actually do so much more. And having seen that side of the positive, then the challenge really came to deal with people who couldn't understand that the government is actually there to help people do things. So not my relationship per se with the government, but the certain individuals in the government who would come and go. And having seen how positive the government could be, and then having to deal with some individuals who were just there, cussed and negative, and to keep your cool was something that was kind of not so nice. So that was my big. Then towards the later half, when we started doing things inside school, in terms of when we brought in the 5 areas of development and all these kind of situations, strangely enough, there was a lot of pushback from the parents in some of the way, right? And we were a school that stood for something, and then certain parents would feel that they wanted to do it this way. So that was a challenge also, how to get the parents on board with you. It was a bit, but once they got on board with you, then it was fine.
Yeah.
And the last and not the least was finding the right kind of people to be teachers at the Doon School, at the Vasant Valley School.
Vasant Valley, yeah.
Yeah. So that was, but then at the end, if you just struggle through it, we had a fantastic group of people.
Correct.
And then it made the whole thing so super. But getting them was a constant kind of endeavor that we had to put on.
I can imagine.
We were, always going ahead and looking for people, even when there was not a slot, if you see what I mean. So these, I would say, were the challenge, getting the right kind of people to be on board, to be able to live up. And also the thing that we were starting from scratch on a piece of land in Delhi. There was nothing there. And we were starting at a part of Delhi that didn't exist. Vasant Kunj now seems to be like a husting place. When we started our school, there was nothing there.
Nothing. Correct.
And one of the challenges we thought we were going to have is where were the students going to come from? But that kind of, so getting the right kind, the students, we were quite clear that we were going to get as many students from around the neighborhood. We stuck to that, even as the neighborhood grew. So that was an area that, and then keeping, after a while, if I was to look at, those were the areas, getting the right kind of people to be teachers, relationship with the government, living up to the expectations of the Puris constantly, and always thinking ahead for the children.
Amazing. Well said.
So that was the most important thing.
One more question on education before I move to some of the institutions that you have established. As an educator who has seen education evolve in India, this incredible pressure cooker system that we've all come out of, right? It's often been criticized. Education literacy is going up, and a lot of Indians seem to be getting it right in terms of what you see in terms of successes. What are your thoughts on what should India be doing differently in education?
Good question. So the thing is that we also need to understand, in my opinion, I think the one mistake that we made when we became independent, that we let Nai Talim go past. His whole system, it's so beautiful and so well organized. We looked at reforms in all the other areas, but we didn't look at re-looking at the system that existed in 1947. It just perpetuated that going forward without ever, without making any. But at the same time, right from there, the IITs came along, and there was a whole bunch of. But I think that Nai Talim now, if you look at what the present government has brought into place, is the new education policy. I think it's very well done.
Okay.
But like with good policies, its success will depend on how it's implemented. We've had so many good thoughts in so many areas. So what I see is large glimpses of Nai Talim in the new education policy, where we bring things together, the working with your hands and skills and attitudes. So I think, it's all, we could always sit down and criticize whatever we want to looking back. But I think at this point in time, if I was to say what India could have done differently or should be doing differently, just now taking it forward, I think is the rejuvenation of the government school system.
Okay.
There's no, there can be some private islands of excellence that might come along. There could be some private public partnership, which is fine. But the basic responsibility of bringing high quality education must be and should be with the government, because the government school system that exists across the country needs to be rejuvenated. And I think that if the new education policy will be able to do that. In the world over, though we are still seeming to be continuing with the pressure cooker system that you call, I can see the lessening of that in some ways, where admission into university, right, slowly is not becoming the only way forward after you finish grade 12.
Okay.
There are many other options opening up, right? We also need to understand that with the new education policy, a lot of things will happen within the school. So that by the time you're 18 and ready to school, you should be ready to get into your areas of passion.
Sure.
And the world of work is changing hugely. And this last year has taught us a lot. That traditional places of work don't necessarily flourish and are don't able to take on challenges that come. So we are also seeing an opening up of avenues for children to go to beyond universities. Of course, doctors and engineers and specialized those will go, but there is a huge opportunity opening up both in India and outside.
Right.
So I think if we look at the new education policy and give it the push that it will require. Of course, it's not perfect, but nothing is perfect.
Okay.
So for me, that is a big ray of sunshine that is going to take us to the other side. Slowly. So that's, the answer is on the table now.
No, I'm with you.
We have to pick it up. And the thing, what I'm trying to say is that we, including people like me who are outside the government school system, in running them, we need to get our hands in there, not dirty. In fact, some of us will getting them clean by working with the government school and taking it to the other level. The other thing quickly in this, one of the things that I firmly believe on is that schooling, unfortunately, has become an end in itself. It's an industry in itself, right? And that's something that, anybody who's read my books or heard me talk, I talk about this constantly. That schooling is not what it's all about. Education is what it's all about. And my kind of fight, drive, everything is to bring education into schooling, right? Which where education seems to almost be kept out. And I see strains of that in the new education policy. The world, and this is not an Indian problem. The world over, we have become an over-schooled and under-educated society. Right?
Well said.
So that we need to be very clear that education is what we are trying to do. Schooling is just a means. Unfortunately, it has become the end.
Correct.
that's where the pressure cooker and all these kind of situations where they have to justify a lot of the rubbish that there has to be done to keep themselves relevant is what it's all about.
Well said. So let me move on. You've set up two amazing institutions in India, Pallavan School and Ritinjali. Tell me about both these institutions.
Very nice. So, as you said, as I said, I was in the Doon School, for many years. Then things didn't go right in my personal life, so I had to move out. And these things, which at that point in time sound at the bend, right at the bottom, there was an ad in the paper for the position of the principal of the British school in Delhi. I applied for it purely because I felt that I needed to shift out, got the job. I was there for maybe 8-9 months, did whatever I could. It was just like, it wasn't
Your cup of tea.
So I resigned without having a job in hand. And then somebody introduced me to Arun Puri and Rekha Puri, who were at that point of time, planning to set up Vasant Valley School. And I had a meeting in their house on a Saturday morning. And, the conversation was meant to last maybe 10 minutes. It lasted 2-3 hours. We sat in the car, drove to the piece of land. Somewhere the conversation became our school. And there it was. So there was suddenly a platform being given and the kind of vision and encouragement and freedom. Because I had been working at the British school, which was a completely parent-run school, and everything was run by the parents, and it's so stifling and no freedom at all. So I kind of went to the other side, and I said, listen, you want me to do this? I need to be in control, and I have to say that they gave me full control. But we worked together. So it was, many times people ask me, "Oh, do the Puris give you freedom?" So I said, it's not a question of giving freedom. We work together, and that is one of the best things that happened. We fought a lot about a lot of things. There's no question about it. But it was a healthy debate and discussion, and either they convinced me or I convinced them. So the setting up of Vasant Valley School was, I think, the best thing that happened in many, many ways for me. And when I finished 30 years, I also realized that it was time to kind of move on, to give other people a chance. I would never have moved on if it was my choice to kind of move on. Everything was fine there.
Right.
But it would not be fair to the younger people coming along and new ideas. So that, and again, we started with 16 teachers, hardly any kids, but we just worked in a way, I think we were just clear that we wanted to create a space where we would learn. And that changed everything. It was a learning space. So one of the things that somebody asked me, why are you guys setting up Vasant Valley School? I mean, how is it going to be different from so many other schools that are coming up at that point in time? And this is 30 years ago or 31 years ago. And I said, here in Vasant Valley School, we're not going to be teaching. So that was even today is met with some kind of incredulousness. What do you mean you're not going to be teaching?
Right.
So we said, the job of an adult is not to go into a classroom to teach. So I can go into a classroom and I can teach for 2 hours and nobody learns anything. So I've had fun. But the point, therefore, is for me to go into a classroom and to help the children to learn. It sounds like a cliche, but actually changes the whole atmosphere, the whole relationship between. And I, as a teacher, have to be in the learning mode myself. Right? Not just outside the classroom. Whether I'm teaching grade 2 or grade 10, it has to be a learning experience for me also.
Correct.
Right? Because if I'm just going there and, vomiting stuff onto the kids and they're supposed to, then that's schooling. We're talking about education where we are all on a path together. And believe you me, these days, you have interaction with 13, 14, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids. You have so much to learn from them.
Correct.
So that became in Vasant Valley School, I think that relationship that we had amongst ourselves as a faculty, the relationship that we had with the kids, and then the kids and the parents, they got along very well on a third kind of space. There was a whole social situation that was gathering up between the parents who met each other because their kids were at the same school. And that led to a creation of of an environment, an ecosystem of like-minded people.
Hmm.
So even parents who did not quite understand or agree with, but slowly saw what was happening, they became the mainstay of what Vasant Valley School was all about.
Hmm.
It was nothing that came from Mars, and we were not pretending to be, God's answers to education. We were just, the whole point was to be common sense, understand. And one of the things that if we had, I'll just tell you one sentence. When we were sitting down, the 16 first teachers,
Hmm.
we wrote down all the stuff that we hated when we were in school ourselves.
Mhm.
And we said, we're not going to allow that to happen here.
Right.
Right? That was saying that, this was just made me miserable. I'm not going to be responsible for that in the school.
Hmm.
And then we put together all the things that we found that made us happy and successful and, fulfilled in schools. We made a list of those. And these are teachers who were coming from all over the place.
Hmm.
So we had a super list of things to do as well as things not to do.
Okay.
And these were things that had been come up by the teachers themselves. So they had a sense of ownership.
Okay.
So I think that is one of the big things about Vasant Valley School was that it was a kind of cooperative of the teachers and me and the parent and the Puris, and slowly got the parents on board. So and we make mistakes. And, there was one of the things that I think, were very happy to admit. Hey, we got it wrong.
Hmm.
There were no egos allowed to come in that just because I thought of it, now it has to be carried through whether it's working or not. So there were many things that were started, and the moment we realized that it was not doing what it was supposed to be doing, out it went off the window, and it had no ego issues on
Correct.
that. I think that is one of the big things that...
That's amazing. Arun, I'm now running out of time, and I have so many things to talk about. So I have two options. One is I schedule another time with you we continue talking Vasant Valley now, and we talk of Pallavan, Ritinjali, Bhutan in another section.
You decide.
Some other time.
The problem is there's so much to say now.
I know, and I'm really enjoying this, and I'm sure all our listeners will love this conversation. So let's stay with Vasant Valley School for another 3-4 minutes, and then we'll schedule another time for Pallavan, Ritinjali, and everything you're doing in.
Fair.
So again, let's come back to now, Vasant Valley. 30 years, you have produced such an amazing set of alumni who have gone all over the world. What is your thought on alumni building the brand of the school, keeping in touch with the school, and giving back to the school?
Well, this is something, again, when I used to talk to the children and they would, have a conversation about them. So one of the things I used to say to them quite often was, listen, when you're 32 years of age, I'm going to come and stay with you, and I want to see what kind of a human being you are.
Correct.
I don't care whether you get...
And I'm sure they'd all welcome you.
I don't know about that. So I say, I don't care whether you get 98 or 92 now, which college you get into. Your true success is going to be when you've been through this. And what kind of a human being are you at the age of 32? That, for me, I said that the true sign of success of a school is what its alumni is doing, what its alumni is when they're 32, right? Because that's, you've been through all.
Yeah.
And if they have stuck true to anything that you feel that you've helped them learn at the school, and it's still with them at the age of 32, then the education took place, not just schooling. So that is one thing about the alumni, that they were always told that, of course you must do well, but at what cost? I mean, are you just going to drop everything and then get your marks? Then what? But I hesitate a little bit about creating a brand out of the alumni, because then it kind of whitewashes them into one homogeneous kind of body, which I find in some of the schools that what happened. We tried right from the beginning, and that was one of the things that I was very clear, having come from the Doon School and many other kind of places, having been to such places. I said, no, each child at Vasant Valley School has to be unique. We're not going to put them into a conveyor belt. You should not be able to walk into a school and smell a Vasant Valley school student, right? They need to be distinct. They need to be their own people. And
Okay.
that is our whole philosophy. Everything was to help you become you, right? So there might be a few who did the same thing, but of course, there were some basic levels of decency and, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about thought processes. And I'm also talking in terms of career post school. We encouraged as many people to go into as diverse lines as possible to get into spaces. It was not good enough to just get 98%. But what did you do with that 98%?
Correct.
Did you get into the university or the institution of your choice in the course of your choice?
Correct.
Right. So that is where what we did in terms of what you're talking about, the alumni. I think the alumni are very well connected. We are in touch with each other. It's a very strong alumni. And what is great about the Vasant Valley School alumni, it's not a brand, right? I'm very tempted to use the names of some other schools, but I'm not going to do that.
Absolutely.
But the power I'm not using the power, it's the strength and the wonderful push and pull that there is between people who have studied at the Vasant Valley School doesn't take any kind of shape or form. It works on its own level. And I think that's the strength of it. And, nobody, and it's becoming stronger by the day. And one of the things that was done in the beginning, I realized that this needed to be fostered. So when I went to London, I hosted a lunch for all the Vasant Valley School kids in London. They got together, whether it was in New York, whether it was in Bangalore, whether it was in Delhi. We used to meet quite often. My home has been the venue of dinners for so many informal gathering of people. So somebody would ring me up and say, "Hey, we haven't seen you for a long time." I said, "Come along." I said, "Bring your friends." So I would sometimes not know who would be coming up, but the connection would be Vasant Valley School. So there's this informal
networks,
but structured situation that exists.
Fantastic.
So the brand is not there, which is great, right?
But the networks are there.
It works beautifully. And I think that's
wonderful. Thank you very much for this incredible conversation on Vasant Valley. And we're going to talk again on the next part of your journey. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. It was just a pleasure to kind of help revive some of the things that you've actually been witness to. So
I've seen your journey in the last 3 decades. Fantastic.
Yes, so I'm very happy to be able to talk to you, and all the best. And I'm so happy that your call becoming so popular, and I want to kind of subscribe to them and help people to
Thank you.
more and more to listen to that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.